Now I know some of you guys were like, damn, Sam, what's it gonna take to get a 5 out of 5 from you? These were some pretty epic ass chapters. Well, this chapter right here is a 5 out of 5, and the reason for it is I'm a sucker for chapters like this, okay? So to have Wiper just freaking out when he's finally being treated and he gets told, hey, you know, it doesn't matter where you're from, everyone's being treated. Listen up, dude. Have patience. We'll find the bell. But this is the first time in 400 years where nobody's felt like fighting each other. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. And the reason why this gets 5 out of 5 is, my God, this speaks bigger to what it means to be human, man. I've told you guys on numerous occasions, whenever you write something, at some point you should have your readers questioning themselves on what it means to be human, or at least in some way having empathy for some of the characters that you created, because obviously you're not going to be able to relate to every character that somebody writes, but you can at least empathize with them. So that was very beautiful just to see that, and to have the celebration on the very last page of this chapter. And the fact that it's the 300 chapter, I also feel like, and this is just a personal taste, but I also feel like whenever authors get to milestone chapters like 50, 100, 150, you get where I'm going with this. Like, I think that that's very, symbolic. And when you get those chapters, something big has to happen. And when I saw the cover story and I saw Ace and he's powering his boat using his flames and he's just fresh off of trolling everyone, just seeing that. Now, Ace has information about Blackbeard. It let me know that this was going to be one of those chapters where everything ties up together neatly, because Ace finished his mission. So that was cool just to kind of see that. Now to backtrack and go over this chapter a little better in detail, I thought it was pretty cool how Wiper is being treated by Chopper at first, and you got Ace and she's like, can you save him? And she says, Mr. Raccoon, can you save him? And Chopper's like, horns, bitch, horns. I'm a reindeer, not a raccoon, reindeer. That's cool. Like I said, just the gags, like that's cool to see that. But Chopper automatically says he won't die, okay? And even though his bones have been smashed and everything, he says he's not going to die. And you have this moment where Sanji is asking Zoro, like, why do you even care about these gorillas? Like, they're the enemy. And it's very interesting to have Sanji say that, because I feel like if anybody in Luffy's crew could have empathy for somebody else, it would be Sanji. And the reason why I say that is, think about what he went through when he was with Zeph, okay? When he's stranded on that island, he and Zeph really didn't get along, but they bonded because of what they went through, right? And when you look at everything that happened here, and the fact that basically they were 2 seconds away from being shish kebabbed, okay? I really felt like, Sanji would have made that connection quicker, but I can understand why Oda chose Sanji out of anybody, because Sanji's character, there's different possibilities for ways to use him. He's kind of like what Draymond Green is to the Golden State Warriors. He's a jack of all trades. You can plug him into different, character personalities in order to hit certain themes. Whereas with Zoro, you can do it, but not as much, because Zoro's character isn't written in that way. Sanji's still being fleshed out. Zoro is too, but Sanji has more room for that. So that's cool to see how that was used, and how even Zoro says, like, I'm not sure why this guy did what he did, but he played a pretty critical role. And it makes sense for Zoro to say that, because Zoro, he's a swordsman, honor, warrior. I mean, different things like that. Just to see that, and it goes into, a big shonen trope, which is, whenever people fight alongside together, more than likely they're going to bond. It's going to bring them closer. That's been done for as long as shonen has existed in Japan. But that's also something that you see in a lot of literature over here in the United States. For instance, I just finished a novel a couple weeks ago where this World War II, not World War II, World War One, this guy is flying over everything's going on in Germany, and he's a German pilot. And he's seeing like the bombings and everything, and he's looking at these different photos, and the photos he have are little snapshots of different points in his life, and he's connecting them to what's going on in the war. So the photos are used as an anchor, but he's having empathy for the different people who are down below that he's bombing. So it's the same thing. He was able to connect with those people in the same way that Zoro was able to connect with Wiper, as well as Wiper's people who are fighting, and just to see like the seeds of distrust still existing to a point where Wiper's own men are saying, can we really trust him with the Blue Sea people? And yet you have this child in Asa who serves the same role that Chopper did, where Chopper gives you a perspective from a child's point of view and a new perspective, an outsider, if you will. It's the same thing with Asa. Asa made friends with Luffy and them, and so it's because of her Wiper's being treated. Just little small stuff, and to see those bridges being connected, very beautiful. And then you got this, funny ass scene where Nami, she appears with Luffy, and she's got, Conus. I'm gonna rant in a little bit, just gonna warn you, but she's got Conus with her, and Sanji's like, "Love Hurricane," and that was pretty cool, man. Because I read that in Mike Guy's voice, okay? Because it's just like, I don't know, like it was very animated, man. So I read it in that voice. I know Sanji's voice actor is a Guy's voice actor, two different companies, Funimation and Viz, but just animated in that sense. And he goes straight for Conus, man. And I'm going, Sanji, dog, like, you on Nami hard as hell. Then you get on Nico Robin, now you're on Conus, like, my dude, like, you're a horny ass dude right now. You just trying to stick your dick into something, and I got no problems with him at this point. Like, you do you, okay? But speaking of Conus, really hated the fact that, I'm not gonna rant, I'm just gonna speak on it, but I really hated the fact that her father was still alive. Like, what the fuck, dude? Just kill somebody off, man. It gets to certain points where it looks like somebody's going to die, and I get it. In One Piece, you gotta see the body, okay? But there's no fucking reason her father should be alive, okay? Like, that was bullshit. Like, that was bullshit. Like Enel should have wiped some people the fuck out. Like I'm talking like mass groups of people who we knew, not these fodder who have no names. Like, that would have been a bigger impact. But at the same time, it's whatever at this point, because again, I kind of expect this with One Piece. I know if Oda does decide to kill, it better be fucking awesome, okay? It better be awesome, because this is literally the 7th person who I've read something that's just like, there's no reason they should be alive, okay? Like, I think the first one that got me was back during the Syrup Village arc, where, damn, fucking ran, and I said I wasn't going to rant, but back during the Syrup Village arc, you had Kuro, and he ended up, I believe it was Mary, he ended up, whoever the attendant for Kaya was, he ended up slicing him, okay, and I thought he killed him, and it's just like, he's not that rusty to where at point blank range he can't kill somebody. Like, little stuff like that, man, like that peeves the fuck out of me, but I get it, man, I get it. So moving away from that, personally, I love the fact that Enel is kind of flying off. I would have loved to see him like super pissed off. He's just like, I'm just going to go towards the endless Varse. And I thought that was pretty cool, because I like villains, okay? Like, villains are probably my favorite, villains and anti-heroes. Those are my favorite characters, and the fact that the door is left open for Enel to potentially return, very cool. And the thing with One Piece, there's no big villain right now, but at the same time, Oda has a way of recycling people and, bringing them back in. When he did that with Buggy, really won my respect as a writer, because it speaks volumes when you're able to create a cast this big and a story with so many different interconnecting storylines, and to be able to weave them in this way, very difficult to pull off. And especially when you're doing it in a graphic novel format, in a weekly release, very difficult, because so much of it is based off of visualization, and so it's a different level of storytelling, man. So I really appreciate what Oda's been doing with this, man. This is really good. Like, out of everything I review, One Piece is, let me rephrase, out of everything that I've reviewed as far as from the very beginning. One Piece is one of those stories. I really wish I would have gotten into One Piece around the time I got into Naruto. In fact, I don't think I've told this story. I know I've told you guys that I came very close to checking out One Piece around the time that I got into Naruto, but the thing was I was, like, oh, this is gonna be corny. I'm not really gonna get into it because I had a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't like the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and so I had already been reading Naruto, and so I was just like, I'm just gonna stick with this. I'm gonna stick with this. Like, fuck this pirate stuff. And I really regret that, man, because I would have been caught up at this point. Like, I really would have been caught up. So I hate that this didn't happen. But overall, really, really good chapter. Like I said, I gotta give that 5 out of 5, man, because having empathy for others and just being able to bridge those gaps, it speaks volumes about what it means to be human. The fact that no matter how different we are, no matter what our differences are, we can still connect. We can still connect with others. And even when you have like the former kami, after the current kami falls from grace, Ganfal's like, I don't deserve to be called kami anymore. I'm just a normal person like you. To see how everyone is relating to each other, that made this chapter so beautiful. Like I said, 300, as of right now, 300 is one of my favorite chapters in One Piece, man. And that'll change as I continue reading, obviously. Then again, it might not. Like, I would have thought by this point, Nami, reaching out to Luffy saying, help me, after she tries to cut out the all-along tattoo. I thought that wouldn't have been my favorite moment, and it's still my favorite moment in One Piece. I mean, some things that stick with you, man. So my chapter question for you all is, how did you feel when you saw everyone, partying and celebrating? And was there ever a time when you yourself had to make amends with somebody you had problems with, or did it happen organically? Share if you want to. For me, I can say for myself, there was a time when I was in high school where I had a friend who was, falling into some gang stuff. He was getting really, really heavy into the GDs, okay, the Gangster Disciples. And what ended up happening was it cost me my friendship trying to look out for him, because I knew some vice lords were trying to jump him. But what ended up happening was I ended up having a lot of older dudes coming to my school looking for me. I had older dudes making threats on me. It was a whole bunch of shit, man. Whole bunch of shit. And what happened after this was a couple of years after this blows over. I'm one of those people, if you kick sand on my shoes in the shoebox, I don't forget that shit. And I don't fuck with you. It just is what it is. I don't talk to you anymore. If I see you, if you piss me off, I'm liable to hit you. Like, that's how I was for a very long time. I've grown to look past that now, but at that point I was 20 going on 21, and what ended up happening was I had been telling the girl I was dating at the time that story, and I met one of the dudes I had issues with, and the interesting thing was we were both in the gym, and it's one of those moments where you see each other and you acknowledge, and he actually came to me and manned up and was like, that was fucked up what was going on, man. Like, I was caught up in this. We didn't need to be beefing like that. Things could have took a turn from the wrong end. I lost friends because of that stuff. Not me, but him. Like, he was like, because of the whole GD Vice Lord stuff. I don't have a gang or anything like that. I didn't join any of that shit. I believe if you got gangs and shit, gang. I'm not gonna say that, man. I'm not gonna say that. Fuck it. Gangs are for pussies. I don't believe in that shit. But so just seeing that, and the fact that he came to me and manned up, it allowed me to open up that dialogue. And I don't talk to him now. So I just said, I've changed, but I don't talk to him now. But there's no ill will. If I see the dude broke down on the side of the street somewhere, I'm not gonna drive by and say, hey man, what's going on, man? Hey, it's kind of hot out here. Let's stick your head in here. Talk to me. I had the AC just cranked all the way up. Just speed off on him. I wouldn't do that to him. I'd actually try and help him out. If I knew how to fix on this, whip or something that was broke down, I'd do that for him, or I'd call a towing truck. I'd help him out. Okay, so, That's my personal story. Tell me what yours is. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, hit that like button as it really helps the channel out. Make sure you comment and subscribe and share. Thank you for watching, guys. Have an awesome day.
灰色の人